Welcome to another episode of Jay's LEGO Adventures. I'm Jay. In today's video, I will be reviewing set 10333, Lord of the Rings Barad-dur, and the gift with purchase that came with the set, the Fel Beast. Let me know in the comments below if you like these full episode in-depth reviews, or if you prefer a smaller review within the episode that completes the set. So, let's get to reviewing. There we have the completed Barad-dur. Stands just at 33 inches high. You start down at the bottom. You'll notice it rests on rocks and lava. Rising out of the lava and rocks, there's many buttresses, and they're all at different angles. Techniques for building these angles were using hinges, and then as you went up, building up, you added more hinges to add stability. There's an archway with a bridge which crosses to the doors to Barad-dur. Now, when I was building this, I kept saying that this is where the Nazgul ride out. Well, I was wrong about that. In the movie and in the books, it's Minas Morgul that the Nazgul ride out of, not Barad-dur. One of the neat features is the rocks that wrap around, and this makes it appear that Barad-dur is built out of the mountain like you see in the movie. And as you go up, you notice that there are more buttresses, and you start to see smaller towers and balconies and torches. There are windows which are created with orange plates with black grill tiles on top of them, so it appears that light is glowing out of these windows. And then all the way up, you have the Eye of Sauron, and you have a lot of detailing which is made by using pieces meant for other things like horns and claws and swords. Okay, if you take a look at the back, it has lots of different rooms and play areas. If we look at the lower level, it's the entrance, and off to the right is the forging area. One level up from that, you have the dining room area. If you go up another level, you have Sauron's throne room. And above that, you have the mouth of Sauron's study. And above that, you have the library. And of course, the Eye of Sauron. Okay, with the minifigures, start with Frodo. Frodo's pretty much the same minifigure he was in the Rivendell set without the cloak. He has two faces, and he is carrying the ring. And there's also a helmet so he can disguise himself to sneak into Mordor. Accompanying him on this journey is Samwise Gamgee. Again, pretty much the same minifig as you get with Rivendell, minus the cloak. Sam has a sword and the Phial of Galadriel. And he also has two faces and a helmet to disguise himself so he can sneak in. Tagging along with them is Sméagol, or Gollum. Now, I believe this is a newer version of the minifigure of Gollum. I think it looks pretty good. Face looks pretty much like Gollum's. Also, there was a buildable island. Since these three minifigures don't really fit in Barad-dur, buildable island, you can have it setting off to the side. You could play that you're in Mount Doom, getting ready to throw the ring into the cracks of Doom. First, you have two brown orcs. The soldier orc has a helmet and a sword. Then you have green orcs. The soldier has molded ears on his headpiece, a shield, and a sword. The blacksmith orc, he has a hammer and tongs, which he's holding a sword so he can forge it. Next you have Gothmog. Gothmog is second in command to Agmar, the Witch King. Now Gothmog has one face, but the back of his head is printed. He has a sword, and he has a molded breastplate. Next you have the Mouth of Sauron. Now the Mouth of Sauron has a cape, a sword, his helmet is molded, and he only has one face. And that face has no eyes, just a mouth. And finally, with Barad-dur, you have Sauron. Now, Sauron's got a cape. His helmet and shoulder are one molded piece. If you look at his face, it's fiery. And he has a buildable mace. Okay, section 1, which is the lower section. On the outside, you've got your buttresses, which I did run into a little bit of a problem there. See, buttresses are brown, light brown, and black. Now, it's not too bad when you're looking at the pieces, but on the instruction manual, it's difficult to tell the dark brown from the black and so forth. So at one point, I thought I was grabbing brown, dark brown, and black, and I had all black. But that wasn't too bad. Other than that, instructions for the outside were pretty straightforward, pretty decent. Over on the left side is a closer look of what I was talking about earlier, where it appears that Barad-dur has been built out of the mountain itself. This is the beginning of where the rocks go and wrap around Barad-dur. It's an interesting technique building it, using different angled slopes and in different directions. Made it look like the rock. And if you look inside, you see that you've got a forge where the blacksmith orc would be placed. And he's by an anvil so he can pound out the sword. And then you've got over here on the right, we have a little hidden section. If you open it up, there's a spider inside. Kind of an Easter egg representing, I would assume, Shelob. Shoulder pieces and helmets. And a shield rack. You got a grinding wheel. Over here on this side, it's all lava. And you got a skeleton in a cage hanging over the lava, which can lower and raise. Also in this level, you have a mechanism that opens and closes the gates. And way over here on the right, you've got a cave with a fish where Schmeagol can hide. And then you've got this area up here that's smooth, where the next section can just slide in. I think this turned out pretty decently. Wasn't hard to do. All right, let's move up to section 2, see what section 2 has to show us. Section 2, as you go up, you notice the rocks continue around. They start to have small towers and balconies and torches. And on the right side over here, it's an interesting technique to build the rocks and get the angles right. The techniques used look like this. Going around to the back side, you can look at the inside details. Yeah, this is mainly the dining area. This is where your cook orc would go. But off to the left here, we have a secret area with a parchment with the plans for the 3 elven rings. And then you've got a keg of ale. In the back, you've got a prep table. Next to it, you have a chalkboard with a menu that says, "Meat's back on the menu, boys!" In front of that, you have a table with food and utensils on it. And then on the right here, you've got a fireplace and a stew pot that hangs over the fireplace. The stew pot has some carrots and stuff inside of it. Again, the instructions for this were pretty straightforward, not too hard to do. It's pretty enjoyable. Got a little repetitive doing the buttresses, but that was okay because it looks good. And it wasn't too many. All right, let's go up a little further to section 3. All right, section 3. Section 3 comes apart in 2 pieces. We remove this peg here. And the top part of the tower comes off. Rock continues up this part. And there's more windows with the orange plates behind the grill tiles. So you can, looks like lights glowing through. Now this level on the inside is Sauron's throne room. You've got a throne, you got his banners. If you pull this lever, the throne splits, revealing the Palantir. The Palantir has a picture of the White Tree of Gondor. Or if you turn it the other way, it's got a picture of the Shire burning. Also on the back is a map of Middle-earth. Continuing on to the second part of section 3. You got more balconies and windows, the doorway going in. On the outside of the section, there's lots of claw and horn pieces that give this area texture and just a sinister and foreboding look. As you get closer to the top, they used very large swords. I would assume they're from Ninjago. They use the swords to give it more depth and make it look badder. Evil. Then all the way up at the top, you have the eye. The eye has a light brick behind it that lights up and shines on the eye. The eye moves up and down and side to side. If you look at the inside on the lowest level is the study of the mouth of Sauron. It's got a desk and a letter and some scroll shelves in the back. There's Frodo's mithril shirt. And there's bookshelves on the back, which are large stickers. Now, most of the stickers in this set were not hard to do. The hardest part about doing these stickers is they were large stickers on a curved surface. So it was very hard to get them on there and get them flat without a bubble, an air bubble behind them or a wrinkle. Even though they weren't the funnest of stickers, they look good. If you go up another level, you've got a library with this ladder that moves on a turntable. You've got bookshelves and scrolls. All in all, this section 3 was pretty easy and fun. It was interesting how they used the cylinder pieces and then you built the outside around it, and how it turned out very nice, I think. Okay, next I'll be reviewing the Fel Beast. This is set 40693. It was a gift with purchase for purchasing Barad-dur when it first came out. This has 269 pieces. It comes with one minifigure, which is a Nazgul. This Nazgul has a molded hood, a tattered cape, a sword, and his headpiece is solid black. This Fel Beast was not a hard build. Comes with it has a posable tail, posable neck. The wings can only go up and down, but the wings are made with lots of technique pieces and plastic pieces for the membrane. The claws on the feet are able to grip the small stand that was built to display this. All in all, I think the Fel Beast was a decent gift to get with this set. All right, now I'm going to give some more thoughts on this. The instructions were just either a booklet or PDF. The app didn't have any animated instructions like some other sets I've done. The instructions were easy to follow, other than when you got to black, brown, and dark brown. We're going to do some scores for this. All right, the interest factor on this. I think it was a very interesting build, had some interesting techniques, like using the hinges to get the angles and then adding more hinges to strengthen the connections, using the claws and the horns and the large swords to give more depth and detail to the outside of the tower of Barad-dur. I think that was a really good technique. Using the technique pieces, different angles in section 2 to have the one area of rock on the right side. Those were all pretty interesting. And it had some interesting mechanisms to open the door, pretty easy to build. Technique where the throne was built. Whenever I was putting it together, I didn't realize it was a throne. And then whenever you put them together, you can see it's a throne there. And then you pull on the lever and it opens. And that was interesting how that was built. So, interesting also that this is the tallest set I built. So I'm gonna give this a interest factor of 9. Now for playability. First of all, this comes with 9 minifigures. That is if you don't include the Nazgul that comes with the Fel Beast gift with purchase. Now, so 9 minifigures. It's modular, so you can take it apart and set it around, easier to play with. And it has lots of different areas. I think that I'm going to give this a score of an 8 for playability. I think it's a very playable set. Value for your money. I'm going to give 2 price per pieces here. One with the gift of the purchase and one with. All right, for starters, the set without the gift with purchase has 5,471 pieces. And it retailed for $459. So that gives you a price per piece of just over 8 cents a piece. Now, adding the gift with purchase in, you have a total of 5,740 pieces. Same price, $459. That gives you a price per piece of just under 8 cents. So either way, price per piece, good value. Subjectively though, for me it was a good value. I think it's going to counterbalance my Rivendell pretty well, especially if I get lights put on it. So I'm going to give this a value for your money score of 9. So when you add those all together, it gives a set an overall score of 8.6. Overall, the set was enjoyable to build. At some points, I thought I was going to have to stand up to build it. It was getting so tall. Instructions were easy. I had a good time building it. Kept my interest for multiple days. It was well worth the money it spent, I think. Now, I just got to figure out where I'm going to display it. Would I recommend the set to somebody? If you have the space to display it, yes. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, yes. Definitely, both cases. I'm eagerly awaiting to see how the Light My Brick set for this is going to look. If it looks good enough, you can bet I'll take you on the journey of putting the lights on. Thanks for joining me for the review of the set. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a taco. The link is in the description, along with the links to my Facebook and my Instagram. So follow me. Join me next time when I'll be building set 21350. Dun-dum, dun-dum, dun-dum. Jaws. If you'd like to see my last review of the D&D set, check out this video.